about where the applicant can do research for, or about your company or about any company to come into an interview and be able to answer questions intelligently or ask intelligent questions?
I think that a person, especially in today's times, would really help themselves in getting a job if they would do a little pre-work prior to the interview by reading up on the company that they're applying for the job with. And I say this in regards to know who the company is, know what how the company know how the company actually treats their people, know where they really stand as far as the stock market is concerned. And I don't mean that if you're an hourly employee that you need to go to checking on that. But the more you can know about this company, the more that you can do in an interview. And the reason I say that is that in a lot of cases, a person will be applying for a job and don't really know really what this company does. All they're looking for maybe is a staff position, a clerical position, maybe a lab technician or something like that. But if you're looking at it from an area to where that you really want the person doing the interviewing to know that you know something about this company, it's always good to know. It may not be brought up, but if it is, then it would be good from your standpoint to be able to talk about this company.
How important is it to you as an interviewer for someone to have career objectives and career goals on their resume?
That is not really, well, let me put it this way. That's okay, but really not that important at this part of the program. I think that where this would all come out would be that if you did decide to hire this person, or you really become serious in going to hire this particular individual, then you would pursue those things a little further, because you want people who can promote. You want people who have the qualifications enough that they're not going to stay as a clerical person, or they're not going to stay as a staff chemistry microbiologist or anything like that. You want to have people who have the ability, and not only the ability, but the want to move up the ladder. And this is very important, especially the way things are in today's world.
What do you suggest, or how do you react to someone who's scheduled for an interview and has something come up? Say they're flying in and they're stuck in Dallas. They can't get their flight can't leave Dallas, or their car breaks down, or for whatever reason they can't, for whatever serious, legitimate reason, they can't make it to the interview. What is their suggestion that they do?
I think the first thing that they should do when they see that they cannot make the appointment, like if you had an appointment for an interview at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m., you've seen that you were going to be unable to make that, even if you were in Dallas, a phone call can really save you from something. Because if it was me, I would definitely understand that, and I would reschedule an interview for either later in the day or sometime at in the following week.
So something like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's, these are things that you have no control over as an individual, and I think that any company should give the individual or the person this opportunity. This can happen. Now, if it happened twice in a row, I don't think I could buy too much of that, but at least once.
Mitch, do you have any questions?
No, get a watch Hot John for editing purposes if we're going to need it. So you just need to keep looking at Jim. Okay, yeah, like that. Tilt down here. Well, and okay, that's good.
What are they used to cover edits with this?
Well, B-roll.
Just B-roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably.
It's gonna have to be. There isn't too much to use for cutaways here, so it would have to be.
Just look at Jim, like as though Jim were asking you the question.
Well, I'll think of a question to ask.
Okay. Why don't we lose the glass of water for right now? Can you move that back? Yeah, just like that.
When is a good time to ask about pay and benefits if it's not new?
second when they offer you the position.
I'm not asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
I've been involved in this project
You
too
want
long.
to ask him?
Tilt up.
Alright.
Tilt up a little bit, John. Tilt up a little more. Well. Just like that.
What are, here's a thought, what are the kinds of questions an applicant should ask?
I think that an applicant should ask about the job, about what the job consists of, whether or not there's any computers or things like that that they might be familiar with, or things like that that they're going to be using the job. How many people would be working in this area? Would she be working by herself, or would she be working with a group of people? And there's nothing wrong with asking those type things. There's a little difference in applying for a clerical position or applying for a in-plant job, as we call it, because an in-plant job can be that you're going to be trained for these positions without any, regardless of what your skills might be. In a clerical position, being able to use a word processor, or a computer, or of course naturally a typewriter, this is all a must in these particular positions. And if you can do that, I'm sure it's going to say so on your resume, and I'm going to know that prior to the interview, but it would be something that I think the individual can stress. By no means can I ask any more, how many words per minute can you type? I cannot do that. But it's nothing wrong with the individual letting me know that they are a good typist, that they have used a word processor, and that they are familiar with a computer. If they're not, don't tell me so. But if they are, then let me know that. Other things would be to tell me a little bit about themselves. If they don't do this, I normally bring that up. I want to know about themselves. I want to know about their family. I want to know about what hobbies they have. What do they like to do? You know, just things. I try to put the individual at ease. And if you can do that, you can learn more in a 15 or 20-minute interview than you can in a maybe a 4-hour interview sometimes, by making the individual feel at ease. And I think that this is just something that you really need to do.
Okay, I think they're going to keep getting a little more video
Straight,
view.
we'll need to straighten the tie too. His tie's a little bit. Okay, now you can.
Those are some excellent points, and I'm glad you brought them
I
up.
think that also that how an individual can really help themselves when they are being interviewed is that they will look at the interviewer. You know, and this is important. Some people have a problem there, and that can be understandable. But if you can, and you have no problem with that, you know, it's good to look at the person doing the interviewing, answer the questions, and you will normally find that he or she will be reluctant. I'm talking about the interviewer. Will be reluctant to butt in on you because they're going to let you talk as much as you can, because after all, they're needing to know more about you than you are about them. And so I think by answering questions direct, speak where you can be heard, and like I say, talk like you're actually talking directly to the person doing the interviewing.
Firm handshake?
Firm handshake is a must. It really is. You know, sometimes people have problems with that, but this is one of the things that they need to know. That if you walk in and when you meet someone, do it with a little enthusiasm. Don't overdo it, but do it. And also remember that you're probably going to have about 15 to 20 minutes, unless it's a job that is going to be maybe a 30-minute to an hour. But normally, anytime, 30 minutes is probably a maximum of what I would interview anyone. And during that time, that gives you that much time to sell yourself. Don't overdo it, but don't underdo it. Tell me as much as you can about yourself within that 30 minutes. Tell me why you want this job, why that you want to go to work for this particular company, and really some of the things that you expect. And when I say expect, we're getting back into the area of benefits and things like that. But you can always say that you would like to go to, you want to go to work for a company who has a good reputation, of treating their people right, have good benefits and everything, because I'm a family person and I need these type things. And that is telling you one thing, that if you don't have it, you should tell me. I mean, I'm talking about if we don't have it, I need to be able to tell the person. And that may lead into something. Some people can do this at ease, and maybe I've even went into that with people where I normally don't. But if they come on, you know, just the right way and put their questions to me the right way, I will probably tell them that we have full benefits for you and your family, and you know, everything like that. I won't go into the details of what they pay, but I will be able to tell you that much.
A clean exit?
What?
A clean exit? Don't waddle around once the interviewers
No,
are
once
giving you the cue?
that's right. That's right. Don't kill any more time than you have. Be very leave like you came in. Get up, thank the person doing the interviewing for their time, and they will normally tell you that, hey, we will be back in touch with you. And this is something I think from a company standpoint that we always do. If we interview someone, then when we tell this person we'll be back with you in a few days, we're going to get back to that person. And so I think that if the individual being interviewed, if you tell them that, then I feel like that you owe them that courtesy, and we do that one way or the other. Even if we have not made up our mind by that time, we owe that to that particular individual.
How about the interviewee sending a thank you note? Do you get many thank you
We've
notes?
had that. I've had that, and I have no problem with that. Some people do. Now that would be something that I think that the person should be able to maybe pick up from the person doing the interviewing, whether or not it would or not. I can only tell you that it does not bother me. I can tell you that I know of other people that it does bother. And the reason I say that is that I don't think I would ever take it that the person is trying to overdo it. I don't take it that way. But some people might have a tendency to feel that this person is really pushing themselves. So it's just whichever way you take it, I guess. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Get up, because that's what I'm going to be doing, you know, and I'll ask you where you worked before. You can tell me you worked at.
McDonald's and Brahms.
That's
Are you-
valid work experience you had and kept a job, you know, that you showed up for. Any job is valid.
But
and
what are we trying
applies,
to, I'm
really.
just trying to find out what we're trying to make this seem like, you know?
Okay, what, if I might?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's just make it like where that you've applied for a job where I'm.
But am I supposed to be so inexperienced like I am, or am I supposed
It's
to be more
okay.
experienced?
It's okay. You can
most
be.
of
You
those
can
people aren't
be
going
an
to are going to be just out of.
And so what we're going to do, Kim, is I'm just going to ask you a few basic questions as far as why do you want to go to work for us? And you can say, well, I'm married. I have some
7-month-old
responsibility. Yeah,
baby.
7-month-old baby, and I'm looking for a job to help our, you know.
Looking for a good opportunity.
Yeah,
to-
with a good company, and you know, and just put it that way. Then we'll just lead on into some of it.
Okay.
Okay, we can do it.
Roll it.
Good morning, Kim.
Good morning.
I see that you've, according to your application here, that you have applied for a job with our company. I'm going to ask you a few basic questions, and you just relax and answer them the best that you can. And then anytime you have a question you'd like to ask me, well, just feel free to do so.
Okay.
Let me ask you, on your application here, you say for any type of work. I need to probably know a little bit more about you before we get into that. What type of work are you really working? Where have you worked before? Let's start with that. What have you worked before?
Well, I've worked at McDonald's for about a year, and I worked at Brahms for approximately 6 months until I got a job working as a clerical receptionist with EPIC down at OSU Tech. I worked for Mr. Mike Hensley and a Janine Campbell.
Well, good. I know by even working at McDonald's and Brahms gave you the opportunity to meet a lot of people and everything. Do you have any problem with being around people?
No, I sure don't. I enjoy being with people.
Well, good. That's always a good something good to know about anyone, because I think if you like people, then you can relate with people real easy if you have a tendency to get along. If you were hired for a position, do you have any? Would you have any objections of working alone, or would you feel more comfortable if you were working around someone?
Well, it really wouldn't matter to
matter
me,
much?
but it would be nice if I could be around people,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, good, because as far as our jobs and our positions, some jobs in our laboratories, there will be times when you would be working around other people, and there would be times when you would be working by yourself, but simply for book work and things like that in running tests. Let me ask you again, or something else here. Are you what kind of hobbies do you have? Any hobbies? I mean, that you like to do? What do you really like to do?
Well, I like to read, and I really don't have that many hobbies because I have a 7-month-old son that I take care of when I'm not working, and that's a full-time duty, a lot of responsibilities with taking care of a child at that age.
I see. Yes, I can relate with that. I know that that's something that does take quite a bit of your time, but reading is also a very good pastime or something like that when you do get the opportunity. Well, that's very good. Have you had any experience, Kim, with a word processor or maybe a personal computer or things like that? Have you had any training or anything like that for those
Well,
type of positions?
I took a class in high school,
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
computers, and
Well, that's good, because it's not necessary that you come to us being a computer programmer, because we normally give people the opportunity to train on this particular equipment. But if again, depending on where we would want to place you, would determine whether or not you would be working with this type of equipment or not. But we are a very open company, and what we do, once we hire a person into a particular position, and once you're there, then if we had other jobs that did come open within the plant or within the administration office, you would be eligible to bid to those particular jobs. And that's the reason I'm asking you some of those questions. Do you have any, let me ask you this, when you were working at Brahms and when you were working at McDonald's, did you have any problems as far as getting to work? Are you a pretty prompt person?
yes, I'm usually early person. I'm usually about 10 minutes early, 15 minutes early to work.
That's
I
good.
try to be,
That's good.
so I
that
can
helps.
see what's going on, and
Mhm. You're not one of those that like to just rush real quick.
no, I like to get in the mood.
Right. That's good. And I might add, again, I just need to probably know from you, do you have any career objectives as far as what you really want to become? And the reason I'm asking that is, like I say, with the different positions that we have, a lot of this might determine on whether or not we would feel that you would be where we would need to place you either in one of the laboratories or in the clerical department. Do you have, what would be your one of the desires that you would like to do?
Well, I'd like to become a teacher, a typing teacher maybe. So I think the best thing for me would be
in
with the clerical.
Okay, well that's good, because we do have an opening in that area. Now, I will have to tell you that you will be interviewed with 2 other people besides myself. I'm this one that will do the starting, and and that's the reason I'm trying to find out from you just what you would like to be considered for, because if you're going to go to the laboratories, then I need to set up an interview with you with the head of the quality control laboratory, and I think I can do that. Let's just say, tell me a little bit more about yourself. You graduated from high school. You've taken a couple of courses in different things. You worked. Did you work while you were going through high school?
Yes, sir, I did.
You
That's
did.
when I was working at the McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And I take it that you did part-time work for McDonald's as far
Yes,
as that
sir.
part goes. Now, since you have a 7-month-old child, are you actually looking for permanent employment, or are you looking for temporary employment? And let me explain that a little. Is that we, at the present time, we do not have any temporary jobs. All of our jobs that we're looking for at this particular time are permanent positions. So are you going to be able to meet your responsibilities at home and still be able to hold down an 8-hour job with this company?
Well, I believe I can. I seem to be or try to be responsible, and I have a babysitter who takes care of my little boy, and she's really great with him, but just 8 hours a day, that really isn't going to be any problem. I would really like to have a permanent job with my son and everything. I want to be able to give him everything that he really needs. I want him to have a stable home and a stable environment, So that would be great if.
Well, that sounds good, Kim. I think that, I want you to know that I'm in no position right now to make any kind of an offer as far as the job is concerned, and like I'm saying, until you would be interviewed by the head of the department or something, and then we can get back together after you've been interviewed by her. And I will tell you this, that if we go over a few days after we've talked to you here, in other words, this is like a Tuesday, if you haven't heard from us by next Monday or Tuesday, give me a call, and feel free to do that, because
Okay.
I will, I'm sure I'll be able to get back to you possibly by this coming Friday, but if not, then I should know later than Monday or Tuesday. But if I have not called, I want you to feel free to call me back. And I will say that as far as the positions here, you're the type of person that we like to look at. And we do have several applications, Kim. I want you to know that. With the way jobs are nowadays, it's pretty well a cut and dried thing that there are a lot of people out there looking for jobs. But we are looking for young, energetic people. We're looking for older people. We have no problem when it comes to hiring people, whether they're 18 or whether they're 60. We like to hire people. We like to train them to fit the positions that we hire them for. And I've been very impressed with you this morning, and I think that we'll be getting back to you pretty soon.